When a hostage crisis broke out at the school, everyone panicked. But when custodian Frank Williams neutralized the gunman, everyone was shocked because no one knew he had been an FBI agent for 20 years. Welcome to The Story Begins. Before we begin this inspiring story, tell me in the comments which city you're watching from today. And if you believe stories like these hidden heroes need to be told, hit that subscribe button and help us keep these stories alive. Jefferson Elementary School was one of the oldest and most beloved schools in New York's Queens neighborhood. This brick building, serving since 1952, had educated thousands of children for 3 generations. With its wide corridors, colorful classrooms, and cheerful children's voices, this school was a source of hope for the neighborhood. Frank Williams was a 58-year-old, tall, gray-haired, blue-eyed, calm man. He always dressed neatly, used a gentle tone when speaking, and always smiled when he met children. Frank had been working as a custodian at Jefferson Elementary School for 15 years. Every evening he came to work at 6:00, left at 6:00 in the morning. His duties were simple: clean the classrooms, organize the corridors, collect trash, check the building's security. That was all. Teachers and school staff loved Frank, and children called him Uncle Frank. Principal Helen Martinez said this about Frank: "Frank is a wonderful employee. We've never had any problems in 15 years. The children love him very much. He's very reliable and careful, but he's very private. He doesn't talk much about his past." This was true. Frank wouldn't talk about his personal life. His coworkers didn't know where he lived, whether he had family, what he had done before. He was just a custodian who was very protective of children and did his job perfectly. Frank's behavior at school was remarkable. Even while cleaning, he was very systematic. He would check every area, notice security vulnerabilities, and immediately detect suspicious situations. He acted as if he were responsible for the building's security. "Frank's attention to detail is incredible," said 3rd grade teacher Mrs. Johnson. "If a nail is loose, he notices it. If a window lock is broken, he reports it. He sees everything that could be dangerous for children first. It's like he's a security expert." One of the school's regular visitors, retired police Captain Rodriguez, liked observing Frank. "This man is different," he'd tell the principal. "His posture, the way he scans the environment, risk assessment. He definitely has a law enforcement background." But Captain Rodriguez's observations remained at the speculation level. Frank gave no clues to anyone. Other staff working at Jefferson Elementary: Vice Principal David Kim, 42 years old, 10 years experience; School Counselor Lisa Thompson, 35 years old, child psychology specialist; and security guard Mike Chen, 28 years old, part-time worker. They all loved Frank, but they all wondered about his mystery too. Frank's most striking characteristic was his relationship with children. He knew every child's name, remembered which grade they were in, and cared about their personal problems. Children trusted him and told him their trouble. Once, 2nd grader Tommy Martinez had gotten lost at school. While everyone was searching in panic, Frank had found the child in just 10 minutes and safely returned him to his classroom. No one understood how he could move so quickly. Frank performed a miracle that day, Mrs. Martinez had said. "But I wonder how he could conduct such a systematic search. It's like he had experienced such situations before." Frank's private life was also mysterious. No one knew where he went after work, who he spent time with, what he did on weekends. The only known thing was that he lived alone in a small apartment in Queens. Actually, Frank Williams's real story was much more complex. His birth name was Franklin James Williams. Born in New York in 1966, he had a difficult childhood. His father died at an early age. His mother raised him alone. After graduating from John Jay College of Criminal Justice in 1988, he applied to the FBI Academy and was selected. Between 1989 and 2009, he served as an FBI special agent for 20 years. Frank's FBI career was brilliant. He started in the organized crime division, quickly moved to undercover operations, infiltrating the most dangerous crime organizations, gathering evidence, managing arrest operations. He specialized in every field. Between 1995 and 2009, Frank participated in New York's biggest organized crime cases: mafia families, drug cartels, human trafficking rings, white-collar crime. He was the agent responsible for the most dangerous criminals. Frank's professional record was flawless. More than 150 major arrests, more than 50 successful prosecutions, countless undercover operations. He received the FBI Director's Award, Attorney General's Award. But in 2009, a life-changing event occurred for Frank. During an operation to prevent a terrorist attack on a school in Long Island, the risk of innocent people being harmed arose due to wrong intelligence. Frank stopped the operation at the last minute, but this decision affected his career. After that incident, Frank retired early from the FBI. He had become very sensitive about children's safety and wanted to distance himself from law enforcement. But at the same time, his desire to protect children had also strengthened. Returning to civilian life was very difficult. He could find jobs at private security companies, but FBI connections were questioned everywhere. Finally, he decided to serve in the last place they would expect, among children. Working as a school custodian gave Frank peace. The feeling of protecting children continued his pursuit of justice during his FBI years in a different way. In 2009, he started working at Jefferson Elementary School, completely hiding his past. For 15 years, Frank hadn't shared his new identity with anyone. He was trying to forget his FBI experience, living a simple custodian life. But the past sometimes returns in unexpected ways. That Wednesday afternoon, Frank had come to school as usual. At 3:30, students had gone home. Only teachers and school staff remained. There were a few more children for the after-school program, but the school was generally quiet. While Frank was organizing cleaning supplies in the basement, he heard strange sounds from upstairs, shouting voices, running footsteps, then sudden silence. FBI training kicked in. These weren't normal school sounds. He quietly went upstairs. He observed the situation from the main corridor. There was movement in the main office, but it wasn't normal. The door was closed, but he could see those inside through the glass panel. There was an armed man, masked, looking nervous, threatening Principal Martinez, and two teachers. He had a bag next to him, probably more weapons. Frank's FBI experience instantly analyzed the situation. This wasn't professional. It was someone desperate, probably personal grudge, financial pressure, or mental health crisis. But there was a gun. There were hostages, children in the building, situation critical. Frank evaluated his options. He could call police, wait for backup, but response time minimum 10. Who knows what could happen in that time? Or he could use his 20 years of FBI training, intervene in the situation. But if he intervened, the identity he had hidden for 15 years would be exposed. Frank looked at the old FBI badge he took from the emergency kit in the basement. Special Agent Franklin Williams. Time to protect these kids, he muttered. He took action. He activated FBI hostage negotiation training. First stabilize the situation, then seek peaceful resolution. Use force as last resort. He approached the main office. He knocked lightly on the door. The man inside panicked. "Who's there? Don't come closer." Frank used a calm, authoritative voice, the tone that came from 20 years of FBI experience. "Sir, my name is Frank. I work here. I just want to talk. Nobody needs to get hurt. Stay back. I have a gun." "I know, sir. I can see you're upset. Can you tell me what's wrong? Maybe I can help." The man inside was confused. He wasn't expecting this voice pattern, this approach. Frank was systematically applying de-escalation techniques, trying to reduce psychological pressure. "You don't understand. They ruined my life." Frank slowly moved closer. From the doorframe, he could better assess the situation. Gunman approximately 30 years old, visibly distressed, holding pistol shakily. 3 hostages, Mrs. Martinez, Mrs. Johnson, Secretary Williams, all scared but physically unharmed. "Sir, I want to understand. Can you tell me what happened? Who hurt you?" "The school. They fired me. Security guard job. It was all I had." Frank realized this man was a fired security guard, probably Mike Chen's predecessor. Personal vendetta against school administration. "I understand, sir. Losing a job is very difficult, especially when you have responsibilities. Do you have family?" "My daughter. She goes to school here. She'll be so ashamed." Frank found the leverage point. Paternal connection. This guy isn't a monster, just a desperate father. "Sir, your daughter loves you. She won't be ashamed. But right now, She needs her father to make the right choice, to be the hero, not the problem. It's too late, I already messed up everything. No sir, it's not too late, nothing bad has happened yet. These are good people, they want to help, but first we need to put the gun down. Can you do that? Frank was slowly positioning himself. If negotiation failed, he needed tactical advantage. 20 years of experience taught him patience, but also readiness. I don't know what to do. Sir, let me help you. Put the gun on the desk. Step back. We'll figure this out together. Critical moment. Frank held his breath. Years of hostage negotiation experience came down to this. Slowly, shakily, the man put the gun down. Good, that's very good. Now step back from the desk. Keep your hands visible. Frank immediately moved in, secured the weapon, positioned himself between gunmen and hostages. Ladies, please move toward the door. Slowly, Mrs. Martinez, Mrs. Johnson and Secretary Williams quickly exited. Frank remained with the gunman. Sir, you did the right thing. Now we need to call for help, professional help. You're going to be okay. The man collapsed into a chair, crying, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I lost everything. Frank sat across from him. He switched from agent mode to compassionate human mode. Sir, everyone makes mistakes. What matters is how we handle them. You chose to stop. You chose not to hurt anyone. That says something about who you really are. 15 minutes later, police arrived. Frank had already secured the scene, de-escalated the situation, prevented any violence. But now, questions would come. Detective Sarah Rodriguez arrived first. Sir, are you the one who handled this situation? Frank nodded. Frank Williams, I work here. Mr. Williams, what's your background? This was textbook hostage negotiation. Frank paused. The truth he had hidden for 15 years could no longer be concealed. Detective, I have law enforcement experience. Former FBI. Detective Rodriguez's eyebrows raised. FBI? For how long? 20 years. Special agent. Retired in 2009. And you've been working as a school janitor. Yes, personal choice. At this point, school personnel were starting to gather. Mrs. Martinez, Mrs. Johnson, other teachers, security guard Mike Chen. They were all looking at Frank. Mrs. Martinez approached. Frank, you saved our lives. But FBI? 20 years. Frank felt uncomfortable. Identity exposed. Personal choice questioned. Mrs. Martinez, I'm just a custodian now. I have FBI background. But that life is over. But Frank, why didn't you ever tell us? Because I found peace here. I can protect children, but in a peaceful way. Detective Rodriguez continued questioning. Agent Williams, your actions today probably saved lives. Would you consider returning to law enforcement? Detective, I'm retired. This was a one-time situation, but the school community's reaction was very different. They were starting to see Frank as a hero. That evening, the Jefferson Elementary hostage crisis was covered on the news. Retired FBI agent working as school janitor prevents tragedy. Frank didn't want publicity, but the story was inevitable. The next day when he came to school, the atmosphere had completely changed. Children saw him differently. Teachers had mixed feelings of respect and curiosity. 8-year-old Emma Rodriguez ran up to Frank. Uncle Frank, I saw you on TV. Are you a real police officer? Frank knelt down, getting to eye level with Emma. Emma, I used to do a different job, but now I'm here, with you. This is more important. But you're a hero. Frank smiled. Emma, everyone can be a hero when you help your classmates. You're a hero too. Miss Johnson wanted to have a private conversation with Frank. Frank, the children adore you even more now, but I have to ask, why custodial work? You could have any job. Mrs. Johnson, I'm happy here. Children make me happy. I don't want anything else. But your skills, your experience, my experience is valuable here too, just in a different way. Days passed. Frank tried to return to his normal routine, but attention was inevitable. Parents came to school trying to say thank you. Local news wanted interviews. A week later, an unexpected visit came from the Special Agent Jennifer Martinez, not related to Principal Martinez. Coincidence. Current Behavioral Analysis Unit. Agent Williams, she said officially, your actions last week were exemplary. We'd like to discuss consultation opportunities. Frank politely declined. Agent Martinez, I'm retired. I'm not interested in consulting. Sir, your expertise in crisis intervention, especially involving children, would be invaluable. Part-time basis. Good compensation. Agent Martinez. I appreciate the offer, but I'm satisfied with my current job. Can I ask why? You were one of our best agents. Frank looked around the school corridor. Children's artwork on walls. Cheerful voices from classrooms. Safe environment he helped maintain. Agent Martinez. I chased criminals for 20 years. Now I protect children. Both are important, but the second makes me happier. Agent Martinez understood. Sir, that's admirable, but know that the FBI door is always open. Weeks passed. Frank gradually adapted to the new reality. Identity exposed, but mission unchanged. Still custodian, still protector, still Uncle Frank. One afternoon, he was talking to troubled fourth grader Marcus Thompson. Marcus was experiencing family problems, school performance declining. Uncle Frank, my dad says you used to catch bad guys. Marcus, I used to do a different job, but now I'm here, with you. Were you scared? Frank thought carefully. Sometimes, Marcus, fear is normal, but what's more important than fear is doing the right thing. What's the right thing? Protecting people who can't protect themselves, helping people who need help, being kind to others. Marcus considered this, like what you do here. Exactly like what I do here. This conversation gave Frank perspective. In his FBI years, he had focused on criminals. Now he was focusing on children, concentrating on prevention. Both valuable, but the second more fulfilling. Months passed. Frank's story became a local legend. FBI agent turned school hero, but Frank preferred quiet service. One day, Emma Rodriguez's mother, Mrs. Rodriguez, Detective Sarah Rodriguez's sister, approached Frank. Mr. Williams, Emma talks about you constantly. You've become such a positive influence. Mrs. Rodriguez, Emma is a wonderful child. I'm just doing my job. No, you do much more. You give these children a sense of security, protection. That's invaluable. Frank realized something. In his FBI career, he responded to immediate threats. At school, he was contributing to long-term development. Both important, but different impact. Another month later, a surprising visitor came. John Patterson, Frank's former FBI partner. Frank, man, I heard what happened. You okay? John, great to see you. I'm fine. Bro, what are you doing here? Custodial work. Frank showed John around the school, children waving, teachers smiling, safe environment everywhere. John, I found peace here. I found purpose. But Frank, your talents, my talents aren't wasted. I'm using them differently. John observed Frank, interacting with children, natural, caring, protective. Frank, I get it now. You found a different way to serve. Exactly. John left impressed. Later he told Frank's story to FBI colleagues, not as failure, but as evolution. A year passed. Frank continued his dual identity, custodian by day, protector always. Children still called him Uncle Frank, but now with additional respect. School security improved significantly. Frank's expertise was informally integrated. Emergency protocols better, threat assessment ongoing, preventive measures enhanced. Principal Martinez conducted Frank's annual review. Frank, this year has been remarkable. Test scores up, behavior incidents down, parent satisfaction excellent. Your influence is undeniable. Miss Martinez, I'm part of a team effort. Everyone contributes. Frank, would you consider a security coordinator position? Formal role, better pay. Frank thought the title change was appealing. But, Mrs. Martinez, I appreciate the offer, but I love custodial work. Daily interaction with children, being in classrooms, this makes me happy. Understood, but know that you're valued far beyond custodial duties. Frank smiled. Mrs. Martinez, the feeling is mutual. Another year passed. Frank's reputation in the community grew. Parents specifically requested Jefferson Elementary, because Frank was there. Enrollment increased, school reputation enhanced. One evening, while Frank was working in the basement, there was a small knock on the door. 6-year-old Sophia Kim, after-school program student. Uncle Frank, can I talk to you? Of course, Sophia. What's wrong? My mom says you're a superhero. Frank laughed gently. Sophia, I'm a normal person. I'm not a superhero, but you saved people. Sophia, everyone can save people. When you help a friend, you save them too. Really, really, being kind, being helpful, being protective. These are superhero qualities. Sophia hugged Frank.
"You're my superhero, Uncle Frank." This moment explained everything to Frank. In his FBI career, he had big cases, famous criminals, national recognition. But here, the trust, appreciation, love in children's eyes, this was infinitely more valuable. Years later, Frank Williams continues working at Jefferson Elementary, still custodian, still protector, still Uncle Frank. Children grow up, graduate, but never forget Frank. Former students occasionally visit, from high school, college, adult life, always grateful, always respectful. "Uncle Frank, you made us feel safe. Uncle Frank, you taught us about courage. Uncle Frank, you showed us that heroes come in all forms." Today, Frank Williams is 73, still working, still caring, still protecting, FBI badge dusty in basement drawer, but spirit of service stronger than ever, because real heroes don't need recognition, they just need purpose, and Frank found his purpose among children who needed protection, guidance. As the story begins, we ask, have you met someone like Frank? Someone who changed careers not for money or status, but for meaning. Someone who found their true calling in an unexpected place. Share in the comments, because our communities are full of people like Frank Williams, quiet heroes who chose service over success, meaning over money, children over career advancement. Subscribe to The Story Begins for more inspiring stories of people who found their true purpose in life's unexpected turns. Until the next story, remember, sometimes the greatest adventures begin when we choose to serve others instead of ourselves. Frank Williams taught us that being a hero isn't about the badge you wear, but about the heart you bring to everything you do.